Have you ever stopped to think about where electricity comes from? We flip a switch, and our lights turn on. We plug in our devices, and they come to life. Behind the scenes, there's a vast network working tirelessly, the electric grid. This network connects power plants to homes and businesses. It's one of humanity's most incredible engineering feats, powering our modern world. So, how exactly is electricity made? It all starts with power plants, the bustling factories of the electric grid. These plants use different energy sources to generate power. Some burn fossil fuels like coal and natural gas to create steam. This steam spins turbines, producing electricity. But we're not just relying on fossil fuels anymore. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind are becoming crucial. Solar panels capture sunlight and convert it into electricity. Wind turbines harness wind energy to generate power. The electric grid integrates various energy sources. This shift towards cleaner energy is crucial for a sustainable future. Once the electricity is generated at power plants, it embarks on a remarkable journey through the electric grid. The first leg of this journey involves high-voltage power lines, the superhighways of the electric grid. These lines, often seen towering over our landscapes, are responsible for transporting vast amounts of electricity over long distances. Think of these power lines as the interstate highways of the electric grid, carrying electricity from power plants to different regions. To minimize energy loss during transmission, the electricity is transformed into extremely high voltages, hundreds of thousands or even millions of volts. These high voltages would be far too dangerous to use directly in our homes. That's why, before electricity reaches our neighborhoods, it undergoes another transformation, stepping down the voltage to safer levels. But before we get to that, let's take a moment to appreciate the engineering marvel of these power lines. They are meticulously designed and maintained to withstand extreme weather conditions, ensuring the reliable flow of electricity across vast distances. As the high-voltage electricity travels across the country, it eventually reaches our neighborhoods. Here, it encounters another set of power lines, the distribution lines. These lines are like the local roads of the electric grid, responsible for delivering electricity directly to our homes and businesses. Remember how the electricity was stepped up to high voltages for long-distance transmission? Well, before it can be used in our homes, it needs to be stepped down to safer, more manageable levels. This is where distribution substations come into play. These substations act like transformers, reducing the voltage of the electricity before it's delivered to our homes. Think of them as the local post offices of the electric grid, sorting and distributing the electricity to individual addresses. Finally, the electricity reaches its destination, our homes and businesses. It enters through our electrical panels, which contain circuit breakers that protect our electrical systems from overloads. From there, it flows through the wiring in our walls, ready to power our lights, appliances, and all the devices we rely on every day. Section 5. Keeping the lights on. The balancing act of the grid. How does the electric grid keep the lights on all the time? It's a delicate balancing act, requiring constant monitoring and adjustment. On one side, you have the demand for electricity. On the other side, the supply of electricity. Grid operators adjust the supply to match the demand. Too much demand and not enough supply can cause blackouts. They rely on control systems and diverse energy sources. Ramping up generation or tapping into energy storage meets peak demand. Maintaining grid stability is a 24/7 job. Section 6. Solar panels and wind farms, the future of electricity. As we look to the future, it's clear that renewable energy sources like solar and wind power will play an increasingly important role in our electric grid. Unlike fossil fuels, which are finite and contribute to climate change, renewables offer a clean and sustainable alternative. Imagine a world where our electricity comes from the sun and the wind. Solar panels glistening on rooftops, harnessing the sun's energy, wind turbines gracefully spinning on hillsides, capturing the power of the wind. This is the future we're working towards. But integrating these intermittent renewable sources into the grid presents its own set of challenges. The sun doesn't always shine, and the wind doesn't always blow, so we need ways to store energy for when it's not available. That's why researchers and engineers are working on innovative energy storage solutions, such as batteries and pumped hydro storage, to smooth out the variability of renewables and ensure a reliable supply of electricity. Section 7. Smart grids, smart choices, building a more efficient system. As we transition to a more sustainable energy future, we need to modernize our electric grid to handle the increasing influx of renewable energy sources. This is where the concept of the smart grid comes into play. Think of the smart grid as a supercharged version of the traditional grid. It uses sensors, computers, and advanced communication technologies to monitor and control the flow of electricity in real time, making it more efficient, reliable, and adaptable. With a smart grid, we can better integrate renewable energy sources, reduce energy waste, and improve the reliability of our electricity supply. It's like upgrading from a rotary phone to a smartphone, a major leap forward in technology and functionality. Smart grids also empower consumers to play a more active role in managing their energy use. With smart meters and home energy management systems, we can track our electricity consumption, identify areas for improvement, and even sell excess solar power back to the grid. Section 8. Energy storage, keeping the power flowing, rain or shine. One of the key challenges of integrating renewable energy sources like solar and wind power is their intermittency. The sun doesn't always shine, and the wind doesn't always blow. That's why energy storage is crucial for a reliable and resilient electric grid. Think of energy storage as giant batteries for the electric grid. When the sun is shining or the wind is blowing, we can store excess renewable energy for later use. Then, when the demand for electricity exceeds supply, we can tap into these stored reserves to keep the lights on. There are various energy storage technologies available, each with its own strengths and limitations. Batteries, for example, are becoming increasingly cost-effective and can respond quickly to changes in demand. Pumped hydro storage, on the other hand, is a mature technology that can store large amounts of energy for longer durations. As we continue to add more renewable energy to the grid, energy storage will become even more essential. It's the key to unlocking the full potential of renewables and creating a cleaner, more sustainable energy future. Section 9. The role of microgrids, local power for a resilient future. In addition to large-scale energy storage, microgrids are emerging as another important tool for enhancing grid resilience and reliability. A microgrid is essentially a mini-grid that can operate independently of the main grid, providing localized power during outages or emergencies. Imagine a neighborhood or community with its own self-contained electric grid, powered by a combination of solar panels, wind turbines, and energy storage. During a power outage, the microgrid can disconnect from the main grid and continue to provide electricity to critical facilities like hospitals, schools, and homes. Microgrids offer numerous benefits. They enhance resilience by providing backup power during outages, reduce transmission losses by generating electricity closer to where it's consumed, and can even help support the main grid by providing ancillary services like voltage regulation. As we strive for a more sustainable and resilient energy future, microgrids will play an increasingly important role in our communities, providing localized power and enhancing the reliability of our electricity supply. Section 10. Cybersecurity. Protecting the electric grid from new threats. As our electric grid becomes more interconnected and reliant on digital technologies, it also becomes more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Hackers could potentially disrupt the flow of electricity, causing widespread blackouts and economic damage. Think of it like this: our electric grid is like a complex machine with millions of moving parts, all controlled by computers and communication networks. If someone were to hack into those systems, they could wreak havoc on our energy infrastructure. That's why cybersecurity is paramount for the modern electric grid. We need to protect our energy infrastructure from malicious actors by implementing robust cybersecurity measures such as firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and encryption. Protecting our electric grid from cyber attacks is not just about securing our energy supply, it's also about protecting our national security and way of life. Section 11. A brighter, more sustainable future, powered by innovation. The electric grid is undergoing a remarkable transformation, driven by the need for clean energy, technological advancements, and a growing awareness of climate change. As we look to the future, we can expect to see even more innovation and exciting developments in the world of electricity. From smart grids and microgrids to advanced energy storage and cybersecurity, the future of our electric grid is being shaped by cutting-edge technologies and a commitment to sustainability. Modernizing the grid to handle renewable energy sources is essential for a sustainable future. Imagine a world where our electricity comes primarily from clean, renewable sources, where our homes and businesses are powered by intelligent grids, and where energy storage ensures a reliable and resilient electricity supply. This is the future we're working towards, and it's a future worth striving for. By embracing innovation, investing in clean energy, and prioritizing cybersecurity, we can create a brighter, more sustainable future powered by a modern and resilient electric grid.